Yes, this is for Francis. Could you tell me what were the biggest challenges in making TWIXT?
You know, actually it was a very enjoyable project for me because it was, I made it all in Northern California, and so I could sleep in my own bed. I think the writing challenges were how to deal with this Gothic story and yet make it really have something really personal for me at stake. I think whenever a filmmaker makes a film, it's sort of like asking a question. And when you finish the film, you get the answer. And I try to do that on everything now, whether it's a genre Gothic story. I wanted it really to have some of my blood in it. And interestingly, I discovered a lot about my leader. Clearly in the forest, I met Edgar Allan Poe. That's on the level, by the way. This was a dream. And the little children coming out of the grave, and the little girl played by Elle, and Edgar Allan Poe did appear, and I said, show me the way, you know, it's like some kind of Virgil. And what I realized is that Edgar Allan Poe had a little ghost in his life as well as me. And it was in understanding that that was the hardest part and the most enjoyable part of working on the story. Another question?
Yeah, this question is for Mr. Kilmer. First off, I just want to say that I love Tombstone, and thank you for that. In particular, what drew you to this movie? Was it being able to work with such an iconic director, or the script, or a combination of both?
No, Francis, it really was a dream that he had, and I think when we met, you were saying, I'm not quite sure how it ends, but, and then he told me this idea, and I come from the theater, so the idea of, and I'd seen his film that he did with his father, that he mentioned earlier, Napoleon, and it's still one of the great experiences I had in the cinema. It was just a magnificent experience with this live element. So, like everything that he does, it's new. He's genuinely curious as an artist, and we all become sort of facile at selling things and talking about our ideas. But you see today what he's like every day. He's so excited about the medium and to do a new idea, not because it's new, but because he's trying to capture something that's genuine and exciting about entertainment. So every single day was a thrill, really.
Thank you.
And in truth, I have known Val for 30 years, or at least we've been friends over that time. I see Mr. Edgar Allan Poe there at the microphone.
Hey, this question is for Francis Coppola. I love everything you do. Apocalypse Now, The Conversation, The Godfather, your Pinot Noir, it's all amazing. You know, there are so many reboots and remakes coming out of Hollywood now. Can you promise us that you'll never let anyone remake or reboot The Godfather?
You know, I was about 29 when I made The Godfather, and as you can imagine, I have absolutely no legal control over the ownership of that project. So, of course, Paramount Pictures owns it, and not myself. But you know, who knows? I mean, I think when they remake films, it's a pity because that money could go into investing into new ideas, new stories, new stories for new. How are we doing for time? We have a few more questions, it'd be nice. No? We have 3 minutes? What can we do in 3 minutes? If I can show you another shuffle. No, huh? One more question. Yeah, for sure. I love to have questions.
Hello, this is for Dan.
For real?
Yep. It's Duncan. Hi.
Hi, Duncan.
How are you doing? So I know that in your solo stuff, you primarily use Reason to compose, and from what I heard, it didn't really sound like there was a lot of electronic components. Will there be any in the score, and if not, why did you decide to leave that out?
Just about everything is heavily processed and saturated. I didn't use Reason much on this score. I shifted more into the program Ableton Live and some hardware devices. We're going to really end it on this boring technical question. But yeah, no, there's another composer, Oswaldo. What's Oswaldo's last name?
Holohoff.
He'll say it better than I ever will fail to say.
Holohoff.
It was a back and forth collaboration where Oswaldo would send me some orchestral recordings and I would dissect them and mix them up and sample them and then write new material over them and then process them. And so it was a different way of scoring a film, but it was fun. And I've never, done it. I think most people who are familiar with my work think about it in a, more of a party sort of sense. So when Francis approached me with this project, I initially thought the email was like one of those like, "You've inherited $100 million from a dead king in a country you've never heard of." And I thought it really was an elaborate kidnapping scheme. But luckily it wasn't, and we're getting the stop sign.
So I guess we're out of time. Can we sneak in really fast? Whoever's there asking a question will be so fast you won't believe it. Go ahead.
Hi, Mr. Coppola. First off, I just wanted to thank you for directing Captain EO. And I just wanted to know, since you were one of the proponents of 3D filmmaking back when Captain EO was first made, and now so many films are being conceived and shot in 3D, which they think is brilliant, but now and then, movies are being converted to 3D, sometimes against the will of filmmakers. So I was just wondering your thoughts on 3D conversion.
Well, I feel the same way about I do as colorization, that some of these beautiful films were conceived for one way, and to just make them in the other way is a pity. It's just for commercial reasons. I think we're done. I have to say goodbye to all of you. Thank you for playing with us. We have the lights so we can say goodbye to the folks. We have more lights on them. Thank you for playing with us.
Once again, a thank you to Dan Deacon, Val Kilmer, and Francis Ford Coppola for TWIXT.
Go ahead, man. Everybody else is. Are you not going?
I know.